Every day at the police department we would meet and we would discuss how many days it's been since this started. And finally this morning we were able to say that it was day one of the healing process.
I think at the end of this, if he is found to be guilty, he should die. It's that simple.
Benjamin, Monica, Anthony, and Ronald, we will not let their names die in vain.
Tampa's ready to move on. Turn that page. This is an amazing city, and our best chapter has yet to be written.
And it is such an emotional day for the families of the 4 people who were killed in Seminole Heights.
We know so many of you have so many questions about the man charged with the first-degree murders of the 4 victims: Benjamin Mitchell, Monica Hoffa, Anthony Noboa, and Ronald Felton. They were all killed within days and blocks of each other.
We are answering questions like, who is Howell Donaldson III? Were there any warning signs? And why Seminole Heights? You will hear from a retired FBI special agent about why after 51 days, he gave a gun to a McDonald's employee he'd only worked with for a couple of months, and why Donaldson doesn't seem to fit the stereotype of a serial killer.
Our team coverage begins with Josh Shadorowitz live at Tampa Police Headquarters. And Josh, why do police believe so strongly that they have the right guy?
Right, Allison. Well, you know that if you watch the Chief's remarks live on our 10 News WTSP Facebook page this morning, you heard he said very emphatically that they felt confident that Howell Donaldson III is their suspect for a few different reasons. He made those remarks. Take a look. His family of at least 2 of the victims, Anthony Noboa and Monica Hoffa, stood behind law enforcement. Now, here is what the chief laid out. He pointed to 3 very key pieces of evidence. One, those cell phone pings we've been talking about, which he says placed Donaldson in the area of the murders around the time that they happened. Clothes found in that red Mustang in the McDonald's parking lot, those are also key pieces, which he said are similar to the hoodie the person in the surveillance video was seen wearing. The clothes do apparently have some blood on them, but further testing still needs to be done. But the big one out of all of those, the chief said today, is that gun. It's the piece of evidence he said they had been looking for and waiting for, having known but never actually revealing publicly before today that investigators were working with the notion that the same gun had been used in all 4 murders. Police say Donaldson admitted the gun belonged to him, which he curiously brought to work in that bag. He handed it off to his manager, who then called police yesterday, setting this all into motion, ultimately putting Donaldson on police's radar for the first time.
No, I don't think he wanted. The question is whether he wanted to get caught when he handed the bag to a coworker.
Did you take that deal late?
I don't think he wanted to get caught. I don't have the answer why he specifically gave her the bag. Maybe he just trusted her.
So back here live, it's just one of the many perplexing instances so far in this case. The other, of course, being the why, the motive, and why Donaldson chose the Seminole Heights neighborhood to carry out these crimes he's now accused of committing. At this point, police say that Donaldson has given no indication as to why he might have carried them out, and he has not confessed to any of these 4 murders. We're live downtown outside of DPT headquarters tonight. I'm Josh Horowitz, 10 News.
And now we want to take...
Former Tampa Police Chief Jane Castor has found herself right in the middle of this case. 10 News reporter Josh Shadorowitz talked with her again today. And Josh, Castor has a really unique perspective, not just because she was a police chief, but she also lives there.
Yeah, Allison, that's right. Yeah, even before she was police chief, she called Seminole Heights home for decades. Here in Tampa. She continues to do so, and like so many others who live there, so many of us here in the Tampa area, she says she's just absolutely relieved by what's unfolded here these past 24 hours. But I did want to ask her about something that I heard a lot of you guys asking on Facebook Live today and talking to you. How can police feel so confident that they have got the right guy, and why was finding that gun that we've heard so much about, why was that such a big deal when you've still got to do ballistics testing to match the evidence that was found at those crime scenes? I asked Castor about that. She explained it this way. Listen.
The average person looks at, okay, you caught somebody with a pistol. What does that mean? But there are unique elements to every firearm that is manufactured. And as the chief said, they were able to determine that that firearm had been utilized in every single homicide. Now what you have to do is find someone that was in possession or in control of that firearm during those shootings.
And so that is what happens now. You've got ballistics testing that'll need to be completed. There's other testing that still needs to be done as well, and some of the other potential physical pieces of evidence. That includes the clothing that was pulled from Donaldson's red Mustang in that McDonald's parking lot that was said to have blood on it. But bottom line though, Castor, she said to me that she believes that there are likely, from her experience, other details that police are not revealing on purpose to the public to keep certain things under wraps, but it's also information that's likely significant enough that would lead them to feel so confident in their decision to arrest and ultimately charge Donaldson with first-degree murder of 4 people. We are live in downtown Tampa tonight outside TPD headquarters. I'm Josh Sidorowitz, 10 News.
TPD. And before I sat down with the mayor this afternoon, he held a news conference with Tampa Police Chief Brian Dugan.
10 News reporter Josh Sidorowitz continues our team coverage tonight. He is live outside of TPD headquarters. And Josh, police have been clear that they believe that this guy acted alone, but we've heard concerns that others could be involved.
A legitimate concern, yes, but we did ask that today of the police chief earlier, and at this point he said over and over, reassuring that they do not believe, again at this point, that there were any other suspects involved in this case. But they are very hopeful that following this arrest, they are going to continue to get more and more tips that are going to come in to help them piece this all together, help them fill in what are still a lot of missing holes in this. A few things that we do know, though, right now, is that investigators are hanging their hats on some key physical pieces of evidence. That includes that gun that we have been talking about, that .40 caliber Glock, the one that was given off to that manager in a brown bag at the McDonald's by Donaldson. They believe that was used in all 4 of the murders. We also have that clothing that was found in the back of that red Mustang that Donaldson drove to his job at that McDonald's in Ybor City. Now, all of that, it still needs to be tested to determine if it is actually a match and if it's enough to put Donaldson at those crime scenes. Those test results, yes, we will inevitably get. But one thing we might never know is why.
One of the disappointment, he was cooperative, but he did not tell us why he was doing this. And, there's been very many frustrating things during this whole process. We were really hoping to find out what was driving him to do this. We don't have those answers yet.
Back here live, and they also can't seem to figure out why it was Seminole Heights that he chose to target. They can't see any connection at this point. Police did also say today they are looking into whether Donaldson has any connections to any previously unsolved crimes throughout this area. But the police chief saying they don't believe that's the case at this point. Still, the work is just beginning for the investigators here at Tampa Police Headquarters. We are live downtown outside of TPD tonight. I'm Josh Sidorowitz, 10 News.